Before I get in this week's topic, I just want to give you guys a few updates. I do have another fundraiser running. I can put the link to that in the description, and then I will also let you guys know that I got a new phone number, so you guys are able to text me if you ever need to talk, to vent, you need advice, anything like that. Feel free to just text the phone number. The phone number is going to be posted in the description as well. It's 352-340-2845. So there you have it. If you want to text me, go right ahead. Well, this week's topic, I want to talk about the signs of somebody in domestic violence. Basically, I want to teach you guys and tell you guys about how to spot somebody who's in a relationship where they're being abused, either physically or can be mentally and emotionally abused. So I'm just gonna go hop right into that. Signs of domestic violence. Okay, so signs of domestic abuse. Out of fear or shame, many victims of domestic abuse will try to hide or deny it, and in the process of trying to cover it up, they'll exhibit signs that abuse is taking place. If you suspect someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, the following list of signs could be a clue. These behaviors could be attributed to some factors and can be considered proof that abuse is occurring. However, the experts say if someone is being abused, that they are likely to display some of these signs. So make sure you're on the lookout if you have any friends or if you're suspicious that somebody might be in a domestic abusive relationship. Definitely be on the lookout for these signs, okay? So the signs of physical abuse. If someone is being physically abused, they will likely have frequent bruises or physical injuries for which they have a weak or inconsistent explanation. Some common injuries include black eyes, busted lips, red or purple marks on the neck, and sprained wrist. They may exhibit injuries consistent with being punched, poked, or knocked down. Bruises on the arms might indicate defensive wounds from the victim trying to defend themselves. The victim may offer excuses for the injuries like falling or being accident prone, but often the seriousness of the injury will seem more severe than the cause the explanation provides. If victims have such injuries, they will often try to cover them up with makeup or clothing. You may notice that they are wearing clothing that is not appropriate for the weather, such as wearing long sleeves or scarves in the summer. Wearing heavier than normal makeup or wearing sunglasses inside are also common signs of abuse. Complaining of a lack of sleep or likewise complaining of sleeping too much can be a sign of physical abuse. Withdrawn or unusually quiet. If you notice that someone who was once outgoing and cheerful has gradually become quiet and withdrawn, it could be a sign of domestic abuse. A person who was once chatty and gregarious, who is suddenly quiet, reserved, and distant, could be an abuse victim. You may notice that the victim drops out of activities they would usually enjoy, or they cancel appointments or meetings with you at the last minute. They may often be late to work or other appointments. Victims of abuse might exhibit excessive privacy concerning their personal life or the person with whom they are in a relationship. They may begin cutting off contacts with friends and even family members and begin isolating themselves from those who they once enjoyed. I can definitely agree with this aspect of it because in my relationship where I was being abused, I lost pretty much all of my friends. That is why I appreciate the few friends that I do still have, because they are the ones that stuck with me through that. And regardless of how distant I was or how just mean my abuser was to them, they still stayed my friend. So that really means a lot to me. Signs of fear is the next one. People who are being abused may seem anxious or nervous when they are away from the abuser, or they may seem overly anxious to please their partner. If they have children, the children may seem timid, frightened, or extremely well behaved when the partner is around. Although victims may not talk about the actual abuse, they might refer to the abuser as moody or having a bad temper. They may reveal that the partner is particularly bad-tempered when drinking alcohol. Sometimes the fear a victim of abuse experiences is so intense they feel paralyzed to make decisions or to even protect themselves or their children. When the fear gets to that point, they will even turn down help offered to them by friends, family, or even professional protective services. Emotional signs of abuse. Domestic abuse can take an emotional toll on victims to the extent that they will exhibit a sign of helplessness, hopelessness, or despair. They come to believe that they will never escape the control of an abuser. They may also exhibit a constant state of alertness to the point they can never completely relax. They may also affect their sleep. Other emotional signs of abuse can include low self esteem, self apologetic or meek, agitation, anxiety, or constant apprehension, developing a drug or alcohol problem, symptoms of depression, loss of interest in daily activities, talking about or attempting suicide. These symptoms, of course, could be due to many other conditions or factors, but they are typical of domestic abuse victims who feel they are trapped in an abusive relationship. There are also signs of control. If you know someone who was a victim of domestic abuse, you may notice that they have to ask permission to go anywhere or to meet and socialize with other people. They may refer to their partner as jealous or possessive. They may say their partner accuses them of having affairs. When you are the victim, you may notice that their partner constantly calls or texts them wanting to know where they are, what they are doing, or who they are with. You may notice that the partner even follows the victim to check up on them. It is also not unusual for a victim of abuse to have very little money available to them, and they may not have a credit card. They may not even have a vehicle. They may mention that their partner controls all the money that they have to account for every penny they spend. It's all about control, guys. Domestic abuse is not about violence, it's about control. If you notice that someone seems to be controlled or extremely manipulated in all areas of their life, it could be a sign that they're being abused at some level. What can you do? You can reach out to the victim and offer a sympathetic ear. There are many ways to help a victim of domestic violence. My personal experience with domestic violence pretty much goes along with everything that I read my notes on to you guys. I was experiencing it. It was, I guess, to me, it was as bad as it could get. He was literally like a stalker. He followed me everywhere. He had people watching me. He knew where I was at, what I was doing. I didn't even have to tell him that. At a point, it became he didn't even have to ask me anymore. That's how bad it was. And he would come and he would pick fights with me and in front of people. And then after he'd do it, he'd act like it didn't happen. So I know he definitely had some mental health issues going on. I mean, I'm over it at this point in my life, but it definitely did take a toll on me back then. It took a big toll on me. It took a big toll on the amount of drugs and alcohol that I did because I was so depressed and I felt like I was alone. I'm just being beaten and emotionally abused, and he was very abusive with his words too. I got threatened all the time. He talked down to me all the time, and it was just a very bad thing. I was in a very bad place, and yeah. And then there was just the flip side to where he was the complete opposite. This is why I say I know there was some mental health going on, because then he was the sweetest person. I was beautiful. He would buy me necklaces and bracelets and take me out to eat and stuff like that. But nothing that he ever did ever like really made me feel better, because what is the point in saying sorry and buying me all these things and doing these nice things if in 2 days you're just gonna be hitting on me again or screaming at me, calling me names, putting me down, accusing me of doing things that I'm not doing, punching my friends in the face, stalking me, trying to kill me. Like, the list literally goes on. What can make up for any of that? Nothing ever anybody could do could ever make up for any of that. I promise you it can't. So if you're in a domestic abusive relationship, please find a way out. I know it's hard. I was stuck in one myself. The only reason I got out of it, to be completely 100% honest with you, is because he went to jail. Like, I'm not even joking. He was dating another girl and he was abusive to her. She called the cops on him, pressed charges on him, and he went to jail. So I guess she was more brave than I am, because I couldn't even do that much as to go and press charges on this man. But that's neither here nor there. That's really the only reason I got away from him, is because he went to jail and he don't have no choice but to leave me alone at this point. I don't know what he's gonna do when he comes home. I'm honestly just praying that when he comes home, like, he just goes on his merry way. But I just have a feeling that's not how this is gonna play out. So Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about domestic violence. I feel like if you're in a domestic abusive relationship, you should definitely seek help. Like I said, I know it's hard, but it's definitely worth it in the long run. You get your sanity back, you get yourself back, you get your life back. You don't have to be accused. You don't have to be talked down to. You don't have to be called names. You don't have to be hit. You don't have to be threatened. Any of that stuff. Nobody deserves to be treated that way. Even men. I'm not even speaking just for females. I'm talking for men as well, because there are men that are abused by females. There are very abusive females in this world. So this goes for everybody. Like, get out. Seriously, get out. Domestic abusive relationships are just a no-go. They're not good for your mental health. If you don't have mental health, I promise you, you will have it after you leave this relationship, if you are able to leave that relationship, because staying in a relationship like that is definitely going to give you mental health issues, because you're not supposed to be in situations like that that make you feel like that. You're not supposed to be scared and frightened all the time, or anxious and always thinking like, oh, is this person here or there? Are they doing this? Are they doing that? Like, you shouldn't be fearing for your life at all times. It's not normal even for like a dog to be scared like that. Like, seriously, it's just not. It's not okay. So please get help, or have somebody do it for you. If you can't do it for yourself, have somebody else call the police. Get the police involved. Like, honestly, that's really the only way. That's all that I have to say. For anybody that's interested in the fundraiser, the link will be posted in the description. I'll post my phone number in the description for anybody who wants to text me to speak with me. And also, I will post the links to all of the items that I have. I have pop sockets, I have a t-shirt, I have, what else do I have? I have bracelets, I have anxiety cube, and I think that's it for right now. And the t-shirt that I'm selling is actually something different than the fundraiser. It's a semicolon butterfly t-shirt, so it kind of goes along the same idea that I have with the butterfly, but it's not my design. It's something different. It also includes a semicolon for the semicolon concept. So check those links out for me, please, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you.